So I'm going to talk a little bit about finger spelling, and then I'm going to spell 10 words out for you, and you get to try and figure out what it is I'm spelling, and then after I've spelled them all out, I'll go back and tell you what each one of them was. So first I want to talk to you a little bit about finger spelling before I actually do it. I talked in another video about where to make sure you're holding your hand when you're signing with one hand. Remember, it should be comfortably elbow bent, somewhere in the shoulder area, so that you can maintain eye contact while you're signing. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that our hand placement is correct while we do this. The other thing I want to mention when finger spelling, you want to make sure that you're not bouncing your hand up and down between letters. It's really hard to watch to see what someone is trying to spell out if they're bouncing in between each letter. It'll be pretty obvious that you're switching letters, so you don't have to make a gesture to show that you're switching letters. So just make sure that's something to watch for. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spell first 5 3-letter words. I'm going to do it very slowly. I'll just say simply number 1, and then I'll spell it, and then I'll spell it again, and then I'll say number 2, and I'll repeat that for each one of them. After the first 5, I'm going to go back and tell you what it was that I was spelling, and then I'll move on to the next 5, which are 4-letter words, and I'll do the same exact thing for those. I recommend getting a pen and piece of paper and trying to write down the letters as I spell them and see if you get the words right. So here we go with number 1. And I'll spell it again. That was number 1. Number 2 is, one more time, it was your second word. Where are we at? 4? Number 4. Here we go again. And number 5. One more time. Okay, so having them all written down, maybe you tried signing along to see if doing it with your hands would help you figure out what each letter was. So I'm going to tell you what each word was. The first word I spelled was hot. I spelled H-O-T, hot. The second word I spelled was cat, C-A-T. The third word was wax, W-A-X. The fourth word was car, C-A-R. And the last word I spelled was lit, L-I-T. So hopefully that was really good practice for you if you're trying to memorize your alphabet letters out of order and kind of get a feel for what finger spelling is like. Hopefully I gave you a good idea of how that kind of works. So now I'm going to move on to the next 5 words. These are all 4-letter words. Same thing as before. I'll sign them each twice, slowly. I'll say the number before I spell them, and then I'll go back and tell you what they all are. Here we go. Number 1. One more time. All right, number 2. Number 3. And again. Number 4. Oops, I'm going to do number 4 again because I messed up the last letter. Here we go. Number 4 one more time. And number 5. One more time, watch that one closely. Alright, so the 5 words that I spelled. Number 1 was meal, M-E-A-L. Number 2 was send, S-E-N-D. Number 3 was 5, like the number, F-I-V-E. Number 4 was hard, and I know that I messed up the first time, so I apologize if that made it more difficult to get the word, but the word was hard. H-A-R-D. And then your last word that I gave you was rust. R-U-S-T. So again, I hope this was really good practice and really good insight to the world of finger spelling. That's going to do it for me for finger spelling. The other finger spelling video that I'll put up here is going to be someone who actually teaches sign, professional interpreter, sign professor type person. So it might go a little bit faster, it might be a little bit harder to catch, and that's why you do this. So practice with this video slowly a couple times, even though you know all the words now. And then move on to the more quicker moving videos. If you want more practice with words that you don't already know the answers to, simply go on YouTube and search finger spelling, and I'm sure you'll have a number of videos that pop up that are people just spelling words and then seeing if you can guess them. So that is really good practice. Other than that, keep working on your alphabet and get that finalized, and then you can move on to numbers. Thanks.